I quickly want to introduce you to really a very neat project by someone called Vincent Warmerdam. You can find this project on GitHub. I think it's open source, so you can download and play around with it. What I really like about it is that you can import sentences for which you have created the embeddings already, and then you can have a visual representation of those sentences. So I went to Kaggle and I downloaded just over 1,000 sentences in a data set. Granted, my sentences are very ambiguous, so it's not really such a good data set. So it's really ambiguous and hard to create clusters from. So basically, what I did is I took a CSV file of sentences. As I said, it was just over 1,000 sentences. Then I created embeddings on those sentences. You can see there are basically X and Y coordinates denoting the semantic similarity between these sentences. I did this making use of this code, so I'll share this code within this article. I couldn't get the code Vincent shared on his GitHub to work exactly like that, so I had to make a few changes. So basically, I used Colab to upload my CSV file. I ran this code and I downloaded my CSV file. Once I downloaded it, I could open it and it looked like this with those two columns added. And that's the file I used to run within bulk. If you go to Vincent's GitHub page, you'll see right at the top there's bulk. If you go to bulk, you will notice that there's a text and an image version of this. So I was really just interested in the text version. It's got the code here how to create the embeddings. As I said, I had to change that. I couldn't find the ready.csv file on GitHub. Seemingly it's not available anymore, but to create your own is really a good exercise and costs you nothing. And then you can just do a pip install with bulk, and then you can run bulk in the following way. There's also an option to add keywords, and those keywords then will color code different colors that's semantically related to your keywords. So back to the bulk application, you'll see I scroll to the bottom, and there are 1,033 different sentences, and this is a visual representation of those sentences. So what's interesting, if you look at it, you can see some outliers. So I can go and I can select that cluster there. And then you will see all of these sentences at the bottom here are related to weather and forecasting. So the idea of bulk is really um, to visually inspect data, to perform data discovery. So it creates, just this, it's like you can almost call bulk like a latent space or um, a visual inspection tool for data, and you can create really non-fine grained classes or intents or groupings of semantically similar utterances. This is really helpful to if you want to create, if you want to do intent discovery. So say, for instance, you creating a chatbot or a conversational interface, and you want to understand what intents are relevant to your company. You can take any conversational data, any unstructured data, and you can put it into bulk and really just start exploring and see what are those clusters. And you can define clusters, export those clusters, and then really from there you can go to a labeling tool to perform more granular, fine-grained clustering, create intents, sub-intents, or nested intents. So if I clear that selection, you'll see there's also a selection there, and all of those utterances are related to dogs and pets. So let's just do a last example. You will also see there's a cluster there that's very much on their own. If I look at those conversations, it's very much related to playlists, music, um, and records. So a very quick way to create clusters, and understand what's happening in your data. Here's a last example where I added some very basic keywords to my run commands. I put bands in there, books, dogs, and then all the rest. And you can see that there's some utterances identified there in terms of bands, dogs, books. It's not very clear, but you can see there are some conversations in this area regarding books and publications. And again, you can select a portion of data, and then you can also save that portion